Haitian gang leader Jimmy Cherizier, also known as Barbecue, has warned of a civil war and genocide. This is if Prime Minister Ariel Henry remains in power. Barbecue spoke at a press conference in the capital Port-au-Prince, where he vowed to topple Henry's government and establish a new system. Meanwhile, Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry landed in Puerto Rico yesterday. This was after uncertainty arose over his whereabouts following a trip to Kenya. Peruvian Prime Minister Alberto Otola has tendered his resignation. This was after an audio recording came out over the weekend where he purportedly tries to improperly influence government contracts. Otarola told the media that recording was made in 2021. He has accused political opponents of manipulating the audio to conspire against him. Venezuela will hold its presidential election on July 28th. The head of the National Electoral Council announced this yesterday. President Nicolas Maduro is expected to run for re-election. However, it is unclear which opposition challenger he will face. Lebanon's caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati has said that talks to end hostilities along the Lebanon-Israel border will begin during Ramadan, which starts next week. Lebanon is studying a proposal suggested by the US to end the border violence. The Lebanon-based Hezbollah group has been exchanging fire with Israel for nearly 5 months. This has been running parallel to the Israel-Hamas war. Ukrainian drones hit and sank a Russian Black Sea Fleet patrol ship off Crimea. This is according to the Ukrainian military. It said that the vessel, known as the Sergei Kotov, was hit overnight after a special Ukrainian unit fired marine drones. The International Criminal Court, or ICC, has issued arrest warrants for top Russian commanders Sergei Lobilash and Viktor Sokolov. This is for suspected war crimes in Ukraine. The ICC has accused the commanders of directing attacks on Ukraine's electric infrastructure. In March last year, the ICC had issued a warrant for the arrest of Russian President Vladimir Putin. However, Moscow denies that it is committing war crimes in Ukraine. Russia and China are considering putting a nuclear power plant on the moon. That is according to the head of Russia's space agency, Roscosmos. He said that Russia and China had been jointly working on a lunar program. They aim to put up the plant on the moon between 2033 to 2035. Britain's King Charles III held a private meeting with the country's finance minister Jeremy Hunt yesterday. This was at Buckingham Palace. It comes as Hunt is due to present his budget statement to Parliament. Charles was diagnosed with cancer last year and decided to step back from some of his duties. It is not clear when he will return to his usual public role. Australia and Laos have signed a partnership agreement on the sidelines of the ASEAN summit. The agreement will focus on areas of education, economics and trade, climate and defense. Australia is hosting the 3-day summit to mark 50 years since it became ASEAN's first external partner. The summit is being co-chaired by Australian and Laotian leaders. Azerbaijan has demolished the building that once housed the parliament of the Armenian people in Nagorno-Karabakh. The event was televised on Azerbaijani state television. The media said that the structure was demolished because it had been constructed illegally. Azerbaijan captured the breakaway region of Nagorno-Karabakh last year. This was after years of conflict with Armenia. Taiwan's Labour Minister has issued an apology over her racist remarks. The minister said in an interview that Taiwan would recruit people from India's northeast. That is because their skin color and eating habits were similar to that of the Taiwanese people. This triggered a domestic backlash from members of Taiwan's ruling Democratic Progressive Party. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has inaugurated the country's first ever under-river metro tunnel. This is in the city of Kolkata in the state of West Bengal. The metro tunnel has been built under the Hooghly River, which passes through Kolkata. In climate news, Yemen is facing an environmental disaster after a UK-owned cargo ship sank in the southern Red Sea. A missile attack by the Houthis struck the vessel last month. The ship contained 200 tons of fuel, which has already left an oil slick. The vessel also had thousands of tons of fertilizer on board that could harm fishes and coral reefs in the region. Heavy rain and snowfall have killed more than 40 people in northwestern Pakistan in the last 5 days. This includes 22 children who were crushed after landslides buried their homes. Pakistan's weather agency says that severe snowfall is rare in the month of March. The meteorological department has attributed the extreme weather conditions to climate change. The North Indian state of Himachal Pradesh has experienced substantial snowfall in the past 4 days as well. Some tribal districts in the state recorded nearly 1 meter of snow. An avalanche halted the flow of a major river in Himachal for more than 15 hours. Around 500 roads were also shut because of the avalanche. The Indian Weather Department says that the state has recorded a 508% excess rain and snow measurement overall. Severe floods have affected more than 100,000 people in the northwestern state of Acre in Brazil. Yesterday, the Acre River's level reached close to 18 meters in the state capital, Rio Branco. Authorities have declared an emergency in 19 of the 22 municipalities in the state. The Brazilian government has allocated about $5 million for regional humanitarian aid. The Arctic Ocean will likely go ice-free by 2030 for the first time in 80,000 years. This is according to a new study by Colorado Boulder University in the US. The study says that the Arctic could see frequent ice-free periods by mid-century. An ice-free Arctic doesn't mean there will be zero ice. Instead, the ocean is considered ice-free when it has less than 20% of its minimum ice cover. The world is on the verge of a fourth mass coral bleaching event. This is according to the US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. American researchers say that the event could see wide swathes of tropical reefs die. The El Niño weather pattern and climate change have fueled record-breaking ocean heat, which majorly contribute to coral reefs losing their color. Meanwhile, the El Niño weather pattern is expected to continue to keep global temperatures high. This is according to the United Nations' climate agency, the World Meteorological Organization. The agency says that the current El Niño would go down as one of the 5 strongest in history. The El Niño weather pattern typically lasts 9 to 12 months and can provoke wildfires, cyclones, and droughts. Women who run rural households in poor countries suffer more than men due to climate change. This has been revealed in a new report by the United Nations. It says that on average, female-headed households lose 8% of their income during heat waves and 3% during floods. The report calls for targeted strategies to address issues faced by women in poor countries. On to business and tech news. Facebook and Instagram suffered more than a 2-hour outage yesterday. As per reports, the service disruption started late on Tuesday. Hundreds of thousands of users globally were unable to log on to their accounts for hours. Earlier today, Meta said that the service outage was due to a technical issue, which has now been resolved. A bill has been introduced in the US Congress to force China's ByteDance to sell social media platform TikTok. The bill would give ByteDance 6 months to divest TikTok, otherwise the app faces a potential ban in the US. American lawmakers behind the bill underline national security concerns related to TikTok's Chinese ownership. The bill is expected to go for a vote in the Congress tomorrow. iPhone sales in China declined by 24% in the first 6 weeks of 2024. This is according to a report by a Hong Kong-based research firm. Apple's sales have been hit due to strong competition from China's Huawei. As per the report, in the first 6 weeks of 2024, Huawei sales have grown by 64%. Bitcoin hit an all-time high at $69,200 yesterday, surpassing its previous peak of $69,000 in November 2021. The latest surge has been attributed to the US approving Bitcoin exchange-traded funds or ETFs. These ETFs allow investors to bid on Bitcoin's price movements without directly owning the cryptocurrency. A US judge has dismissed several key copyright infringement claims against social media firm X. This is in a case filed by 17 music publishers against the firm, which is previously known as Twitter. The lawsuit accused X of allowing users to post unauthorized music on its platform. However, the judge upheld the charge that accused the platform of failing to adequately monitor the posts. ChatGPT maker OpenAI has responded to the lawsuit filed by its former investor Elon Musk. The firm has rebutted all of the claims made by Musk and said that it will seek a dismissal of the case. Last week, Elon Musk filed a lawsuit against OpenAI, claiming that the firm has abandoned its original mission. The original mission was supposedly to develop artificial intelligence for the benefit of humanity and not for profit. Tesla has halted production at its Gigafactory in Germany. This is after a high-voltage wire supplying electricity to the plant caught fire in a suspected arson attack. An activist organization called the Volcano Group has reportedly claimed responsibility for the attack. As per Tesla, production at the factory is not expected to resume before next week. Alphabet's Waymo is launching self-driving car services for its employees in the American city of Austin in the state of Texas. The firm says that these services will be available in over 100 square kilometers in the city. This includes downtown Austin, Barton Hills, Riverside, East Austin, and Hyde Park. Austin is the fourth U.S. city to allow Waymo self-driving car services after San Francisco, Phoenix, and Los Angeles. Meanwhile, Chinese electric car maker BYD has begun the construction of its manufacturing complex in Brazil. The $620 million complex will be made up of 3 production plants. They're expected to produce 150,000 car units annually. BYD has said that the complex will start operations by the end of this year or by early 2025. The Al Shaya Group, the Starbucks franchise operator in West Asian countries, is reportedly planning to lay off over 2,000 employees. This comes as Starbucks has faced consumer boycotts amid the Gaza war. Al Shaya operates around 2,000 Starbucks outlets in 13 West and Central Asian countries. While the firm has confirmed workforce reductions, it has not disclosed the number of impacted employees. Moving to sports, in cricket, Sachin Tendulkar has backed India's cricket board BCCI for giving priority to domestic cricket. The BCCI recently mandated centrally contracted players to play domestic cricket when they are not committed to national duties or in the National Cricket Academy. Tendulkar said playing in the Ranji elevates the level of the tournament. Former South African pacer Shabnim Ismail has recorded the fastest delivery in women's cricket. She shattered the 130 km/h barrier mark while playing in the Women's Premier League in India. Ismail clocked a speed of 132.1 km/h while bowling for the IPL franchise Mumbai Indians yesterday. It was the first time in women's cricket that a ball was bowled at a speed greater than 130 km/h. MS Dhoni landed in the Indian city of Chennai ahead of the Indian Premier League yesterday. Dhoni captains the IPL franchise Chennai Super Kings or CSK. It's being speculated that this IPL might be his last season as a player. Defending champions CSK start their IPL campaign against Royal Challengers Bangalore on March 22nd. In football, German giants Bayern Munich's Champions League quest stays alive. They beat Lazio 3-0 yesterday to move to the quarter-final. Striker Harry Kane came to the rescue to score 2 goals. Bayern were initially trailing 1-0 in the first leg, but have qualified 3-1 on aggregate. French giants PSG or Paris Saint-Germain also moved into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Kylian Mbappe scored twice in a 2-1 win over Real Sociedad yesterday. PSG advanced 4-1 on aggregate, with Mbappe also scoring one of the goals in the 2-0 win in the first leg in Paris. This is Mbappe's last season with PSG. In tennis, Grand Slam champion Simon Halep's ban was reduced to 9 months from 4 years. This is according to a ruling by the top court for global sport yesterday. Halep, the former world number 1, has been suspended since October 2022 for doping. She denies the charges against her. In Formula One, the FIA, the governing body of F1, has broken its silence involving its chief Ben Sulayem. He allegedly overturned a driver penalty in the Saudi Grand Prix last year. The FIA confirmed that there was a report detailing potential allegations, and it apparently exists. Meanwhile, Ben Sulayem faced new allegations. This one pertains to the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Reports say Sulayem allegedly told officials to not certify the circuit last year. Sulayem reportedly wanted false issues on the track to be identified to withhold the license. This claim has been made by the same whistleblower who also accused him of manipulating the results of the Saudi Grand Prix. A Pakistani boxer has gone missing in Italy after stealing money from his teammate's bag. The boxer is identified as Zohaib Rashid. The incident apparently happened during an Olympic qualifying tournament. The Pakistan Amateur Boxing Federation called it a major embarrassment for the country. Police raided the Catalan Football Federation headquarters in Barcelona yesterday. Employees were barred from entering the building. The Catalan police did not say why the search was carried out. In entertainment news, the super-hit Twilight franchise will now be turned into an animated series. According to reports, streaming platform Lionsgate will helm this project. This comes after last year's report that a TV series adaptation of Twilight is in development. A spin-off of the drama series Young Sheldon is in the works. The series will be about the characters Georgie and Mandy. The actors Montana Jordan and Emily Osment will reprise their roles. The producers of Young Sheldon and The Big Bang Theory will helm this project. The iconic American series Baywatch is getting ready for a revival. The series will return to television with a new look. The showrunner Lara Osland says she will retain the original essence of the show with the iconic bathing suits and Los Angeles beaches. The hit drama series initially ran on air from 1989 to 1999. Actor Cameron Diaz might join the cast of the upcoming dark comedy film Outcome. According to Apple Original Films, the actor is currently in the final stages of negotiations. The makers have already locked actors Jonah Hill and Keanu Reeves. The film will star Reeves as a damaged Hollywood actor who has to fight a battle with his past. The premiere of the upcoming film Love Lies Bleeding took place in Los Angeles. Lead actor Kristen Stewart stole the spotlight of the show. She was joined by her co-actors Jenna Malone, Katie O'Brien and Anna Baryshnikov. The film revolves around Stewart, who is a gym manager captivated by the charms of a bodybuilder. The film will release in the US on the 8th of March. Actor Lupita Nyong'o was spotted celebrating her birthday with actor Joshua Jackson. The rumored couple were spotted in Mexico together. Pictures of them holding hands and taking a walk at the beach have gone viral on social media. However, the duo have not said anything about it. They were first linked after being spotted at a concert in Los Angeles. Singer Madonna opened up about the infection that landed her in the ICU last year. She called it a near-death experience. The singer added that she didn't know anything for 4 days as she was in an induced coma. She also thanked her doctor who helped her navigate through the challenging times. Singer Isis Niger Gaston, known by her stage name Ice Spice, confirmed the completion of her debut album. She took to Instagram to share glimpses from her recording sessions. The album is titled Y2K. The release date and track list remain under wraps. Former Nickelodeon star Drake Bell revealed that he was sexually abused by a dialogue coach called Brian Peck. He said this in the upcoming investigation discovery series Quiet on the Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV. A clip from the series released online showing him accusing Peck. In 2003, Peck was arrested on... Producer Nigel Lyth has denied all the sexual assault claims against him. The producer called the claims false, despicable, intolerable and life-changing. He responded to the claims put forward by singer Paula Abdul, who alleges that Lyth sexually assaulted her twice.